Whoa, chill, girl. All right, we are live. My dog was over here. She is being a pesky girl. If you want to take a quick look. Hey, Soph, you being a pesky girl? Yes, she is. Always, forever and for always, okay? That's how I look at it. Forever and for always. She's just the peskiest. So, we are just hanging out here right now, and we are on the topic of setting goals, whether it be eBay, whether it be Amazon, whether it be merch, t-shirt designs by Amazon, Etsy, whatever you want to talk about, honestly. It's all about setting goals, and then I want to implement life goals into this. Basically, I'm actually going to turn down the brightness. Whether it be how you want to, health and personal goals. Whoops, sorry. Health and personal goals, or fitness goals, well-being goals, whatever you want to talk about, really. My dog is being quite annoying. She's really climbing on me for some reason. I guess I was gonna give her some of I was just eating a chicken patty with ketchup. I don't think dogs can have tomatoes, so she's not going to have that. Excuse me. Haha, this would be coming up as I was packing orders, says Joshua Davidson. Well, you know, that's exactly how it is. It's 8:50 p.m. over here in Connecticut. I already packaged all my orders. I actually had some really good sales, and I I could go over those later, but right now I want to talk about um, things that, goals, really goals. So first and foremost, so true, man. Reselling has taught me to set goals. Need to start a journal. Read it every week. That is awesome, Joshua. I really like that. I don't do anything like that, and that's where I thought about this idea. I was watching Stefan from Project Life Mastery on YouTube, and he really goes in depth, and he talks about his goals, and he really, he explains everything that he set a goal into, and he, does it by genre. Would you like call it by genre? No, I would call it by, I guess, topic. So the first would be finance goals, right? The second would be business goals, health goals, personal goals, just goals, right? And he will write them all down, and he will follow them to a key or to a T, is what people say, right? And he just does this, and he updates his YouTube channel. It's a great YouTube channel, actually. I used to watch it, then I stopped, then I started again. Great YouTube channel, though, at Project Life Mastery, I believe. Um, and now I don't personally set goals. I've tried to multiple times, and whenever I don't reach them, I get unmotivated and I get discouraged, and then I end up not doing anything about it. So I'm very curious to know who here sets goals. Do you reach your goals that you set? And if you do reach your goals, do you replace that with a goal that is higher? Do you replace that with something that might be hard to attain after you've realized that you've already reached it? Or if you don't reach that goal, what do you do? Do you mope like I do, which you shouldn't do, or do you just lower the goal for next time? Now, you could say yearly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, however you want to set them. I believe I would set yearly goals, really, and try to meet all these things within a year's span. And I felt that method didn't really work for me. So I'm curious to what you guys have to say in the comments over here. We only got a few people in the comments right now. We have Joshua Davidson, Alex, and Lori Hoover. Hello, hello. And I'm just very curious. Now, when it comes to eBay and Amazon, I want to mention that I set goals in my mind, right? I tell myself, you know what? I'm going to sell this many items, or I want to make this much money per payout on Amazon. So Amazon pays you every 2 weeks. And I basically try to tell myself, you know what? I usually average around $2,000, give or take, right? It could be 2,500, it could be 1,500. And now I've had some that are way outliers. I've had weeks or payouts that are horrible, right? I've had payouts that are under $1,000 for 2 weeks on Amazon in horrible times. And that's when I'm not doing anything, right? That's when I haven't sent in a shipment for a long time, and that is my fault, and I put all that blame on me. And there are other times where I make $5,000 in a payout, $7,000 in a payout, which is amazing. And that's when I've been shipping in a bunch of things and really focusing on it full time. And but my goal, where I find that I am actually consistent, is around $2,000. I'd obviously like to raise that because that's not all profit. That's not all going back into my pocket. I'm not making $2,000 every 2 weeks, which would only equal out to $1,000 a week, which isn't that much. That's what, $52,000 a year. I'm probably making half of that, which is more like $25,000 a year. Now, that's not that much money, and that's not including eBay and all my other sources, so you can probably close to double that. So it's not making a whole buttload of money, and I don't try to claim that I'm making all this money here, but I do average that 2,000 per every other week on Amazon for the majority of the year. Come Christmas time, that 2,000 goes skyrocketing up, right? So let's say I make 2,000 per payout, which is twice, so that's 4,000 a month. I can make that from January until October pretty consistently, pretty easily. I can hit that, right? From October to January, I am doing probably 10,000 a month. So that's where the numbers get skewed, and sometimes more than that, right? So that's where the numbers get skewed. So you think, okay, I can set this goal for $2,000 a payout, so $4,000 a month. If I can reach that until fourth quarter, quarter four, which is the last little quarter of the year, then I'm happy because I know the sales are going to grow. But I don't really want to be consistent. I would like to grow every payout. I'd like this week I just got paid out $2,700, I believe. So I got $2,700. Next payout, I'd like to get $3,000. Payout after that, I'd like to get $3,300. Payout after that, $3,900, and just keep growing, growing, growing. That involves a lot of work, and I'm also really focusing on eBay right now because I have a lot of backlog. I have a lot of inventory that I haven't been listing. So I could have gone out sourcing today for Amazon and spent money, or I didn't spend a penny today on inventory, right? Instead, I am listing eBay items. So I listed, I believe, 6 or 7 eBay items, and I'm going to be taking 10 more, taking all the photos. Maybe I'll list a few tonight, who knows, but I'll probably end up listing them tomorrow. And whatever orders I get overnight, I have one order already that I need to package up and ship. I will be doing that. So let's actually go right here into the live feed because I see a lot of people are coming in. I want to know what everybody else is saying and how everyone else feels about this. We have Joshua Davidson. We have Joshua Davidson saying, I set a main goal for the month, then try to break it down into how to accomplish per week. I look back at the end of the week, and if I didn't meet that goal for the week, I put other things I did that were like a bonus. That's a good idea because if you set a goal for the month, and then after 1 week, you break it down. So let's say your goal, theoretically, let's say it's monetary. Let's say your goal for the week was to make $10,000. So you have, or your goal for the month, sorry, was to make $10,000. Now that's $2,500 a week. Let's say for your first week, you only made $2,000. You're short by $500. So you have to make that up for each quarter, right? Just under $200, what, like 150, 175 bucks, whatever it is per week. You tell yourself, okay, what did I do that didn't get me that? I really like this idea because then the next week you can push yourself. Now let's say the next week you got $2,500 and $25. You're like, okay, cool. I've crept up on it. Now the next week I can realize what I did, what helped, and I can work on that. If I was more organized, I would love that idea. I'm not very organized, so it might work for me, but it might not. I really like the idea though. That's a very interesting idea. We have Brooke Barone and Ian Goldie in the house. Ian says, Jesse, what up, how's it going? Alex saying, yeah, I'm one that didn't make goals, maybe I should start. Right, I do not make goals, I really don't. Is it worth listing item, Brooke Barone is asking this, is it worth listing items I already have if only getting, say, $6 to $10 from the item? Not sure it's worth it. 100% worth it. When I break it down, the majority of items I'm only getting $6 to $10 for on eBay, the majority. So when I'm in thrift stores, and I've actually just recently realized this, so I'm going to restructure how I thrift clothing. When I'm at a thrift store, I see a Brooks Brothers polo or I see an Orvis shirt, right? Great sellers. Brooks Brothers, not so great. Orvis sells a little better. My thrift stores, you're buying a long sleeve shirt. If it's just a regular tag, it's $5. Short sleeve is $4, okay? So let's say I find an Orvis long sleeve shirt. The thing is nice. Orvis is a great brand. You know it's going to sell quick. I spent $5 on it. I can easily sell it for about 20. Now let's say I list it for 25, it doesn't sell, I put it on sale, it goes for about 20, maybe 21, 22, right? So I paid 5. It's going to cost me about 4 to ship. It usually comes out to about $3.76 to ship. Now you take into account the packing materials, the label, the ink, which a lot of people don't take into account. I don't really take it into account, but if you really add that all up, let's round that up to $4. It's about 24 cents. So now you're in it $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, but it's still selling for 20, right? So theoretically, you should be making $11. Well, eBay and PayPal have to take their cut. It's about 13% to 15%, somewhere around. I believe it's 13%, but I know fees just recently went up, so it might be 15, let's just say. So now this $20, they're taking just under $2 back. So now your $9 is almost $11. So you're only making $9, just under $9. Is it worth your time? To me, it still is worth my time because the time it takes for me to pull something, take a picture, and ship it, all said and done, is probably equals, I'd say, 15 minutes. You pull the item, you look it over, it takes me about a minute. To take the pictures and list it for one item takes me about 10 to 15 minutes, which I know isn't the most efficient use of time, but that's how long it usually takes me, about 10 to 15 minutes. So let's just say 10 minutes. So I'm in at about 11 minutes right now, and then the time it takes for me to ship it, print the label, stick it on is probably another 2 minutes. But then I have to find it, so I do need to revamp my inventory storage, so let's just say 5 minutes. So I'm in it 15, 16, let's round it up 17. That's not even rounding, but let's just say 17 minutes, right? You can do that 4 times an hour, $9 each one of those times. It's 9, 18, 27, $36 an hour. Is my time worth $36 an hour? I'd say so. I'd like it to be worth more, but I'd say right now where I am, I'm comfortable with saying, yeah, it is. I'd honestly say my time's worth $15 an hour just because that's above minimum wage, and it's a horrible way to look at it. I'd like it to be higher, so just disregard everything I just said. I'd say my time is worth about $25 an hour. Sounds awesome. I'd like it to be a lot more. I'd like to be worth $100 an hour, $200 an hour, but this is where I am right now in life. And I want you guys to realize, how long does it take you to do your photos? Do you take your photos with your camera, import them to the computer, and list like that? Or do you do everything on your phone like I do to save a few minutes? Really, it all adds up. So let's get back into these comments and see what we got right now. My goal was better high-priced items. Exactly, Ian. I've been working on that. I've actually been selling a few higher price. I sold a Tommy Bahama today for $50. So people say, oh, my Tommy Bahamas aren't moving. Sold one for $100 a few days ago, and I sold one for $50. They're just 12 to 20 hours ago, somewhere around that time frame. So they do still move. And then I sold one for $20, but they do still move at those higher prices. Brooke Barone says, I would love to do Amazon. Not sure how to break into it. I was wondering if books would be the best to start on Amazon. What did you first start selling? On Amazon, I actually have, no, I don't know if it was Amazon. I have my very first haul for eBay on YouTube. I don't know if I have my very first Amazon haul, but I remember the very first items I looked for Amazon, and that was books, honestly. Books are going to be your cheapest barrier to entry, usually, not always, but they're going to be very cheap, easy to understand because book ranking, anything under 1 million, right? So that's easy to know, and you just scan it in on your Amazon seller app on your phone, send it off to Amazon. It's probably the easiest thing to source and send. I would recommend starting with books. I'd recommend looking at new CDs, looking at video games, looking at sealed board games. Used board games I know are restricted. I know for a lot of new Amazon sellers, CDs are also restricted. So books, yes. Now I also know books have been getting restricted as well. Amazon's pretty much trying to make it so you can't get in and start selling if you're new. So I highly recommend getting in right now while you still can. Yeah, it might suck because you can't list in certain categories and certain things that everybody else can, but neither can I. I can't sell health and personal care. I can't sell DVDs. I can't sell beauty or automotive parts or anything like that. And if only I had joined Amazon 1 year earlier, or even 6 months earlier, I could list certain things that I can't list now. So do it right now. Just create an Amazon account. That's all you have to do. All you have to do, just create the account. And hopefully you don't get restricted in these things. I know they just restricted LG for a bunch of people, the brand LG. And it's only a matter of time before Sony goes back restricted. People can't even sell Nintendo Wii's right now. It's only a matter of time before all of these things become restricted. And you won't be able to sell these items anymore, guys. And that's just the way it is. But get in there now and just send in some books. Funny thing, somebody that doesn't even post videos about this is how I learned about Amazon FBA and how to create a shipment. And that was Planet Alyssa on YouTube. Watched her videos on how to do an FBA shipment. I followed them to a T, sent out my first shipment. I already had everything bought, and I just followed along with her videos, did all the prep work, and I shipped it out right after the video was over. And it worked. So just watch YouTube videos on it, guys. Definitely a good idea to get into it right now. 826 Junior says, when you sell online for condition, what if something was in perfect mint condition, but it didn't work? Can you be reported or something for something not working? So this would go for something that's electronic, I would assume. So let's say you found an Xbox 360, mint condition, the thing looks perfect. You plug it in, the lights come on and all that, but you don't test it, right? Let's just say you plug it in. Let's even say you don't plug it in. You should plug it in and you should test it. But let's say you don't have an Xbox 360 game. You don't have a controller. I would still recommend shipping it with a controller, but let's say you don't have any of that and you still want to sell it. And then they get the item and they say it doesn't work. You could be dinged for an item not as described or whatever Amazon calls it. I don't think it would be that big of an issue. Now, if you haven't sold anything on Amazon and you get that negative, then that is a big issue. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would honestly say sell books, sell CDs, video games that you can test, toys, sealed things, right? Sealed items that you know are brand new. Send that stuff off. Get a few reviews on your Amazon account. So if you do get a negative, it doesn't affect you so negatively. Let's say you have 3 reviews and then you get a negative. Now you're looking at a 75% overall because 1 out of 4 is bad. So I don't buy from anybody on Amazon that has below a 75 or that has a 75 or lower because that is a bad seller. Now, if they only had 3 reviews, yeah, it sucks, but let's say you have 100 reviews and you have 5 bad reviews, you're looking at a 95%. That's okay. I'll buy from that person. Yeah, 5 people might be salty, 5 people might be, you could have 2 scammers in there, you could have 3 scammers in there, or you just could have 5 mess ups from that seller. But 5 out of 100 reviews isn't that bad because Amazon buyers do not leave seller reviews that often. I've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of items. I think I only have like 80 something reviews, guys. I don't have that many reviews on Amazon, but I've sold thousands of items. They do not leave reviews that often. I find eBay 1 out of every 4, for me typically. 1 out of every 3 out of every 4 leaves a review. 25% to 35%, I'd say. But I don't pester people for reviews. Some people do, and they get that a little bit higher. I don't mind. My reviews are fine. But Brown saying, yes, I have this old inventory and not sure if I should donate it instead of waste the time listing. Just list it. I would list it. Might as well, right? It's not wasting time if it's sitting there. If you're not doing something one day, I mean, a lot of people say your time is valuable, your time is money, do bigger things. And I've been doing this for years, guys, and there are still days where I just sit here and I play video games and I don't do anything. Your time is money. Now, if I just spent that time listing this crap that I have, make a few extra bucks, yeah, that's awesome. I'm not some CEO. I'm not somebody making tens of thousands of dollars a week or a month or a day, you know. I'm somebody that's, you know, making a good enough money to where I don't have to go work for someone else, but I'd like to grow that. But odds are, I'm not trying to say you specifically, but odds are you're not that valuable as of now. In the future, you really should strive to be, but I would spend your time listing that stuff and get that stuff up. It can only be beneficial. You can get more money, which is awesome, get more reviews on your account, which is awesome, and those are two amazing beneficial things that I would recommend doing. Ian Goldie says, I like to make at least $5. On Amazon, yeah. On eBay, I try to make more than that. I'd like to make $10 per item, and obviously the sell price be higher than that, but I'd like to profit $10 an item. I'd like to profit more than that, but $10 is, I'm pretty sure my average selling price is probably 25 bucks, which I'd say a majority of people is. I know a lot of people have it higher than that, but I'd say a majority of people have an average selling price of about 25 bucks. That's what I find sells really well for me. That 25-ish dollar range, 24.95, 19.95, sometimes 29.95. So I would say that $25 range is where a lot of us fit. And I would like to break out of that, but it's hard to find that kind of stuff. 826 Junior says, if someone was old and if something was old and in box, but if the buyer said it didn't work. Well, you got to test those things. I mean, some people do scam, but hopefully you don't get scammed. Cougar 765 shouted you out. There you go. TJ Townsend saying shipping. Alex talking about Orvis sold one for 39 shipped today. Holy moly, Alex! I do not sell Orvis for that much. I wish I did. I have a lot of Orvis listed for about $19.95 to $25. Man, that stuff is not moving at that price. I just sold one for 15 bucks, but it had a lot of wear. So, Joshua Davidson, I just started doing it. I just got a notepad and wrote down where I would like to be looking in live videos, successful people, and what they do. Hey, it's always good to better yourself. Trying to find some questions in here. Here we go. Brooke Barone. Someday I'm going to quit the full-time 9 to 5 and go full-time eBay. You are my inspiration, my rock, my soul, my lover. Brooke did not say that. They just said inspiration. I tell myself anyone can do it if they put 110% into it. And also, guys, we got this right here so you know what people are saying. Let me know if you like this. I like it. I tell myself anyone can do it if they put 110% into it. I have 1,700 listings right now. A couple hours a day. That is insane. That is insane. I'm very curious to know what you're bringing, how many sales you're doing a day or a week. I average about 1 sale a day, and I only have about 300 listings. I'd like to get to 500 listings, and then after that, I don't know if I want to invest that much time into eBay, but who knows? Who knows? Joshua Davidson, whoops, sorry guys, says, I feel the same way, just keep plugging away. Heck yes. Do all these new restrictions, Pedesance is asking, make me worry about your business future? A little bit, yes. To be honest, a little bit, yes. TJ, I had a woman say she didn't expect a heel on a cowboy boot. That is interesting. Reno Jackson, what is your gross dollar amount and item count annually on eBay? Annually, I don't know. I don't know annually. I can't tell you annually, but I can tell you weekly or 60 days. So that would be 2 months. That's what eBay gives me. At my 60-day mark right now, gross, I'm at about just broke 5,000 on eBay. So just broke 5,000 in sales. It's not including everything else. Cut that in half. 2,500, I'd say, is profit. 60 days. That's not a lot of money. 1,200 bucks a month. Not a lot of money, guys. But I'm very small on eBay, guys. I'm only 300 listings. That's nothing. I do a lot more Amazon. Raking profit in the house. And what up, peeps? What up, home diggity dog? G Jazz was saying, how do you deal with registering to pay the taxes in the states where you have nexus? Too many states. That is something I have not thought about. I probably shouldn't talk about that because I don't want to talk about taxes. Taxes suck. A lot of other YouTubers talk about taxes, and I do not. So I honestly, I don't know much about it, and I'm never going to say I do know anything about it because I just don't. Breaking Prophet said, you're going live a lot, bro. What up with that? Man, I got some advice from this dude the other day, and just taking it and rolling with it. Oh no, it's cool, Junior. Let's see. Hit that like button. TJ Town says we got 51 people in the house. If you want to hit that like button, if you like what I'm spewing, I'm just answering some comments right now. We were talking about goals and goal setting earlier, and I do want to actually get back into that. I don't want to make this live stream too long, maybe 40 minutes, I'd say. So we're at that 26-minute mark. I'd like to make it around 40, maybe 45. That's kind of the max. I don't like going much longer than that, just because when I watch YouTube videos, I like to watch around that 30 to 45 minute. I mean, an hour is okay, so we'll see where we go. But that's what I'm saying. So hit that like button. We got 52 watching now. No idea what the likes are at, guys. I'm not even paying attention. Just that'd be awesome. We got Scorpio Cat. Scorpio Cat. I have a smudge on my screen. I thought you were a scorpion with a gun or a Scorpio with a gun, which is even scarier. Hey Jesse, glad I could catch your stream. I'm glad you can watch it. Barky McCheesepan says, Rakin said the pot to the kettle. No idea what that means. What A26 Junior is asking, he's got some good questions, guys. What if you sold a sealed book and the buyer said it didn't work? I've had stupid things like that, guys, before. I actually sold a shirt, brand new with tags. Pendleton, right? Nice shirt, brand new with tags, with the measurements on eBay. Shipped it off, global shipping program across the world. Got to the buyer same day, item not as described. How? It's brand new with tags. I took 12 pictures. You got all the measurements to a key with my little tape measure thing. How is the item not as described? No idea. But they wanted to return it. So we'll see what happens if I ever get it back. Haven't refunded the buyer yet, but we'll see what happens. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, guys. This chat keeps flipping around. Didn't know Peter Millar's summer comforts were polyester. Yeah, they're stretchy, super stretchy. That's the golf shirt. People like that stretch to them. What do I enjoy selling most? Video games. I enjoy selling. To be honest, guys, that's kind of a lie. I like finding video games. I hate selling video games, to be honest, because I hate getting rid of them. I really do. What do I enjoy selling the most? Anything that's worth a lot of money. I'm really happy when something sells for $100. I don't care what it is. It's more or less what I like picking up the most. I like picking up video games a lot. I get excited when I see them. I know a lot about them without having to research. So that's always a plus. Besides that, I really don't know. I don't get that much enjoyment from selling a random. I know a lot of people are really into clothing. They love style. They pick it up. They sell it. I like it. I don't love it. Video games I don't love to sell because I like to keep them. What do I really love to sell? This is a good question because I really don't know. I mean, I love to sell things that are worth a lot of money. I don't care what they are, just as long as I get that nice $100 ching on my phone. I'm like, yes, that makes me happy. Might be a little superficial or whatever you want to call it, but that's how I feel. Have you applied for merch by Amazon? Do you think that'll be the future big thing? I've been approved to sell on merch since November or October of 2015. I've been selling on there since 2015. So, do I think it's going to be a future big thing? It's already a big thing, but will it grow? Yeah. Yeah, it will. Just call up Microsoft and say you're having issues with your Xbox 360. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, okay. What is going on right there? We don't even know. Uh, do you have or ever used a Bluetooth barcode scanner with your phone? I actually have. I have an Opticon scanner that goes with my Samsung Galaxy S7 right here. Phone actually looks kind of small with all these new phones coming out, right? I do have the Opticon scanner. I used it at a book sale the other day. It doesn't speed stuff up I mean, it does a little bit, but not that much because I do not have a database on my phone. If you have a database in your phone, it does speed stuff up a lot because it pops up right away. If you don't have a database, it speeds stuff up by fractions of a second, really. It does scan a little bit faster, but it's a little bit easier to get to the items. Guys, I'm actually very low on battery. I just realized I'm going to have to move to the other room really quick, so bear with me. I know we have 60 people watching right now, so I'm going to bring you guys with me to the other room so I can plug in my laptop. I'm just walking through my apartment right now, turning on this light, and we are sitting on the couch, and oh my gosh, did I just mess everything up? No, we're still good. Okay, cool. So we are still here. I didn't want the laptop to die on me, guys. So we are good. Completely new angle. Everything is nice. We're sitting here. I need curtains. 5 likes and 55 watchers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. I assume we have more than that now. We have 60 watchers, so I would assume we have 60 likes. That's probably not the case, though. But that would be nice, right? I'm listening and listening, so go another couple hours. I love to hear that, honestly. I love when people are listening. Our Durf, Reagan said you were live a lot, so I made a, that's like a pot calling the kettle black. Never heard that before? Never. Brooke Barone says, our Goodwill every Sunday has 49-cent day, where a specific color is 49 cents with clothing. That is completely insane. I've never heard of that in my life. Ours every Sunday changes the color to 50% off. So, which is interesting. What's crackin', Kareem Williams? How's it going, bro? Joshua Davidson saying, I've been hustling Big Mac sauce, $100 sales today. Have you really? That's pretty insane if that's true. Honestly, that'd be insane. Tony Lindsay, that's my downfall. So I buy games with intent of selling, and they end up on my shelf. I love selling vintage electronics. I sold a Nakamichi tape deck. I paid $7 for $400 local on OfferUp. That is ridiculous. Elon 5207. I was at Goodwill today and ran into a scanner person. They pass up so many great items because they were fixed on books only. SMH. And I'm SMHing right now. Crazy, guys. So let's get right back into, I know we just answered questions for so long, but let's get right back into goal planning. And I want to ask you all a question since we have 63 of us here right now. 63 of the thrift schoolers. Everybody's in class. Class is in session. I want you to take out your pens and paper, your notepads, and raise your hand when you got the answer to the question. And I got to come up with a question right now. So my question off the top of my head is, do you guys set goals in your business? I want to know if you set goals in your business. Do you set a monetary goal? Do you set a sales goal? Or do you set a, and these are the 3 things I want you to answer. Do you set a monetary goal? Do you set a sales goal? Or do you set a work goal, like a listing goal? So I know the Crazy Picker Life sets a listing goal. They want to list a certain amount of money per day. I know people have monetary goals. They want to make this much money per day or this much money per month. Or do you set a listing goal? I want to send in this many boxes to Amazon. I want to, this would actually be a really good video topic now that I think about it. Or I want to list this many things on eBay. What do you guys do out of those 3? Do you list goal? Do you monetary goal? Do you have a sales goal? Or do you do no goals at all, really? I'm very curious. Thank you, Kareem Williams, with that $2 super chat. And guys, I will do a big shout out for super chats, of course, because I love money. And honestly, I give this information. Thanks for putting up on the Orvis brand, bro. That's what I do. I helped Kareem. I just saw he commented on my Instagram. I believe it was my Instagram. It might have been a YouTube video. He found a Orvis brand shirt because I put that brand out into the public. I put out all the brands I find into the public. And he does have a YouTube video, a YouTube channel, actually, guys, not a video. He has a whole YouTube channel where he talks about thrifting. He talks about other resellers. He really has a whole bunch of different videos. I know he used to do a bunch of interviews and things like that. It's a cool video. Seems like a nice guy. I don't know much about you, but thank you for the $2. I definitely appreciate that. Elon5207 says yes, 10 listings a day. Actually, we had a few people coming in. Brooke Barone has a she or he. I can't tell. I'm sorry. I can't tell by the picture. It's so small on my screen. Listing goal, yes. Connor never sets goals. That is like me. Well, I kind of do set goals. I don't write them down. I don't do anything very specific into them, but I do have a goal in my head all the time. I'd like to list 10 things a day on eBay, and I'd like to send off 2 Amazon FBA shipments. They're not set in stone, but that's kind of how I do it. I'd like to make goals. Elon does 10 listings a day. Alex does not do goals. Okay, so far we got 2 people not doing goals. TM14 Duck asks if I go to flea markets. I do. Reno Jackson says 17,000 through PayPal annually to dip that tax, if you feel me. I like that. Michael Jordan says, hey, look who it is. The old lady shopping cart hero. Sup? How's it going, bro? If nobody knows what that is, we had a Connecticut reseller meetup a year ago, and it's in the year-old video on Rake and Profits channel, I believe. Barky McCheesepants says at least 1 Amazon shipment per week and at least 40 eBay listings as well. Now that's per week. I really like that. That's a solid. That's solid. If you're doing at least 30 items in your shipment or more, that's solid for Amazon. And 40 eBay listings a week is very solid. I mean, I definitely don't do 10 a day every day, so I probably get up about 40 to 50 a week. So you and me are probably at the same point, Barky McCheesepants. So you're probably, if you're picking up the same sort of items that I'm picking up, we are probably very similar in money that we make, which is pretty interesting. I'd be curious to know. I know I'm asking people in my comments, but I'd be curious to know how you're doing in sales, honestly, to see if your goals align with mine and to see if we're picking up the same sort of items. Maybe you're making more than me, maybe you're making less than me, who knows. Connor Proventure says, what time is it where I'm at is 9:27 p.m. Solve the Canadian shipping issue for you. I wish I could. I cannot. American shipping, I guess, is cheaper. I know in the UK or in all of Europe, I believe, the shipping is very cheap. I think it's just the UK, I'm not sure. But shipping is extremely cheap over there, even cheaper than America. Do I flip car parts? Yes, I do, and yes, I have. Only on eBay. I can't do it on Amazon, but on eBay, yes, I do. I actually was very tempted. Sadly, I'm not because I do not have the space. If I had 1 extra car parking spot or somewhere to store a car, I would do this. I honestly would. I was very tempted recently to go on Craigslist and start buying cars for $300 to $400 and taking out the parts and selling them. If I had the space, I would. I guarantee to you I would. I'd be buying cars and selling the parts out of them. Because I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys right now. I had an old Ford Focus. Things shit the bed, right? Had a lot of issues. The engine died. I got calling places, right? Called 10, 20, 30 places, right? I didn't call 30 places. I called like 10 places. I called 10 places and I asked them, hey, what would you take for this? What would you take? I had offers from $50 for a car, right? to $250. I took $250. I said, hey, when can you come pick it up? They said tomorrow. You know what I did all day? Well, first I asked them, the car's missing a lot of things inside. They're like, as long as it has the engine, transmission, the catalytic converter, and something else, I guess the main body, that's fine. It doesn't even need to run. We will tow it away. 250 bucks. I was like, deal, awesome. Everything else can be taken out. So, got in my car. I started popping out all the plastic parts. I ripped off the front cover for the dash, unscrewed everything right, popped it all off, took out all the dials, took out the vents for the AC, took off the lever for the steering wheel, took off the boot cover, the little leather boot cover for, because it was standard, so I took off the boot cover. I took off all these things, right? I took out the cup holders. I took out the headrests, the dipsticks from underneath the hood and all the caps from underneath the hood, the trunk button, the lever from inside the trunk, all of these parts, guys. And I was selling them on eBay for so much money. And honestly, if I had more time, I only had one day, so I just took off what I could without really knowing. I only had one day, and that's what I had my friend come over and we took off the bumper, took off the hood, we took out the whole AC unit in the front, the fans and everything. I ended up never selling that stuff. We ended up bringing it to the dump. Um, but yeah, we actually took off the hood, the bumper, the fan and everything from the front of the car, and they still towed it away perfectly fine. Next time I wouldn't do all that work. That was such a waste of time. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, but taking off all these little parts easily added up to 500 bucks, and I hardly touched everything. So I took off the window switches and all that stuff. Very easy work to do. Very easy stuff. So if I could buy a car for 300 bucks, especially if it's a import car like a BMW, a Saab, something like that, those parts are worth more money, guys. Got to make sure the parts work first. Hopefully the car has a battery so you can test all the buttons. Odds are the buttons are going to work, it's the wires that wouldn't work. And of course all the vents and everything are going to be fine. Maybe the sun visors, things like that. I could have easily made a few $1,000s if I took everything out. And then scrap the car so it's not sitting around. That is something I actually really thought about. Buying cars for 300, having it for 2 days, 1 day to 2 days, 2 days max in my front yard. Ripping out all the littles, all the small parts, bagging them up, writing down what they are, sticking them in the office, listing them on eBay, and then calling a junkyard, having them scrap the car for 250 bucks. 200 bucks, even if they only give me 150, right? If I bought the car for 300, they're giving me half my money back right there. I only have to make 150 out of parts. Just, if you have the space, it's good. Where I moved, sadly, I don't have the space. I know that took a long time. I'm sorry. Um, sometimes I get on tangents. Sometimes I get on tangents. Yo, what up, Clashing Dragons Gaming? Haven't seen you in a little while. Varga Allen says, you do goals, I just don't get them, so I just list when I feel like. And if I could do 20 listings a day, that's if I have motivation. That's kind of how I am also. It's not a good way to do business, but that's kind of how I am. 86 Junior says, would the condition be on something sealed but scratched on the outside package like a sealed remote? I'm very confused. Oh, what would the condition be? But if it's scratched, I would do very good for Amazon. But if it's still sealed but scratched, oh, if the packaging is scratched, depends on how bad the scratch is. If it's just like a regular shelf scratch, I would still sell it as new. If it's like a bad scratch, I'd sell it as like new. But if it's still completely sealed, then I would do new. What do I consider a slow week? Oh my gosh, a slow week on eBay would be like 3 sales, and on Amazon payout wise would be like 500 bucks. Be a slow week. And that's payout. That's after fees. So 500 bucks on Amazon and 3 sales on eBay is a slow week for me. That's I've had a few of those recently, and that's a good indicator of a slow week. But I'm still making money, but it's a slow week. Nightwing says, when I'm growing store, I go buy item per day. Once I hit a goal, I do dollar amount per day. That's interesting. Yo, bro, you was wearing that shirt yesterday, lol. I was actually, guys. It's my favorite shirt. I wore it to my girlfriend's house, and I never changed. I actually, actually have the shirt that I plan to change into right here. Here it is, guys. Check this shirt out. I got it at a thrift store for like $3. It says Natural Light, like the beer. And check this out. Natural History. I just thought that was funny, guys. For $3 or $4 at a thrift store, I was supposed to change into it. As you guys can tell, this is my favorite style of shirt. You always see me in my dolphin shirt. They're the long sleeve, kind of baggy, a size too large for me. That's exactly what this is. Long sleeve, one size too large, kind of baggy, very soft cotton. That is the kind of clothing that I wear because I like it and I have no style. Oh, Jordan says, my goal for eBay is to try and list at least 10 items an hour. What? I can't do that, to be honest. Um, we tried running a sale today through Thursday based on what you said the other day. I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, definitely let me know how it goes. I actually run my sales on, let's fix this little chat right there. I actually run my sales every Wednesday to Thursday, but I think I'm going to actually run a sale tomorrow. I'm going to start doing Tuesday to Thursday because I get very low sales on Tuesday to Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursdays are my slowest days. Sundays are my best days. But I'm actually going to start running a sale Tuesday through Thursday and see how it goes. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I'm actually not that happy. I'm pretty happy. I'm happy enough to be clapping my hands, I guess. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's 9:30. I gotta go to the supermarket because I need snacks for tonight. Because I'm gonna be up late tonight. I just know it, and I'm hungry, and I have no snacks here. I would like popcorn. We can ship out stuff up to 2 kilograms for 2.5 pounds. That's like $4 anywhere in the UK. That is freaking insane. Yeah, the UK is super cheap to ship. It's extremely cheap. I'm definitely making less. I'm only doing local sales at the moment. I'm working with my parents at our catering business. Hey, there you go. That's awesome, Tony. You know who does a lot of local sales that you should watch? Global Voodoo. He does a lot of local. He doesn't only do local. He actually mostly doesn't do local, but he does a lot of local. And I know he makes a lot of money doing local. I don't do local at all. I used to, but I don't anymore. Honestly, you're doing a bit better right now, but hopefully that's going to change. Perhaps we'll both ramp up sooner rather than later. Yeah, hopefully, to be honest, I'd like to ramp up. My sales have been pretty good. Yesterday, I sold a pair of cowboy boots for $150, a Tommy Bahama shirt for $50, and a bunch of shirts for like $15 to $25. So awesome. That was just yesterday. So very, very, very happy about that. I'm going to do a sales video coming up soon, probably tomorrow morning. I'll do a, what sold this week or what sold over the weekend or like top 10 items that sold in the past month on Amazon and eBay. I'll do a video like that so you guys can see some of the higher end brands that I pick up that some people actually don't know about. Which is interesting. Nightwing says, lol, eBay chop shop. I like that, eBay chop shop. Brooke Brown, do you have a car payment? I know you have rent. Do you worry that you won't hit that monthly quota? I've actually, yeah, Brooke, that actually does scare me sometimes. Am I making enough money to survive? Now, I put money away before I moved. Made sure I had savings. Yet, I haven't paid my taxes yet. I have filed an extension. So I know I'm going to have to pay that as well. So I'm hustling hard right now to make sure I have a lot of money. I do not have a car payment. I bought my car in full. It was only like $5,000. It's a 2002 Subaru Outback. The car's great, honestly, but I am looking to upgrade soon. It's 2002 Subaru Outback. I bought it when it had like 95,000 miles on it. So for a Subaru, that's amazing. Right now, I have about 150,000 miles, so I've put a lot of miles on it. I've driven that car like crazy. Absolutely love the car, though. I'd love to keep it forever. It has a lot of issues right now. I live across the street from a Subaru dealership. I was actually debating whether or not to buy a new car. I could get not a new car, like a 2015, 2016, get one for like $20,000 to $22,000 over there. And if I traded my car, put down a down payment, I could probably get, put down, $15,000 or something and make very small payments. thinking about doing that, but I don't want to have a car payment. My rent from where I am right now is $725 a month, not including bills. I do have a lot of bills. It goes to about 1,000 a month. Am I worried about not reaching that some months? Yeah. Around Christmas time, I make more than enough to kind of cover my ass, and I'm able to put a lot of that into savings just in case. So I have enough on me right now to last a year. Not on me, obviously. I'm wearing sweatpants. But I have enough to last a year. And but I'm making enough, but I haven't paid taxes yet, so that's gonna cut into it. So yeah, I do get worried. Um, TM14 Duck says, I barely started eBay last month. Just curious if $160 sales in a month is bad. By the way, I'm 18. It's not bad. Depends on what you're selling. I mean, that could be great if you're only selling a few things. It's bad if you have 500 listings on eBay. It's horrible if you only have 500 listings on eBay. I have no idea what you're selling, what kind. Now, you might have 500 listings on eBay, but they all might be postcards or stamps. That'd be amazing if you made $160 off of that stuff, right? It totally depends on what you're selling, how many items you have. Clash and Dragons Gaming says that's not bad. How much profit you make? Um, who remembers that show, Season 2, Driscoll Style? I have no idea what you're talking about. Funny, I just started watching you when you were doing that car. I remember you talking about it. Yeah, one of the very first videos. Exactly. So you know all about it, Tony. I'm going to be going live on Periscope tonight, just so you guys know, because I'm definitely in the mood for a drink. Um, so I just can't quit, guys. Um, you're literally the reseller I aim to be, casual and listing whenever he wants, and a tad lazy. Goals: you work hard, but you look like you love your job. That is 100% how I am, to be completely honest, guys. I'm looking at my TV right now, and I was watching someone else who's live streaming. I need to get a better webcam because this doesn't look crisp. That is exactly how I aim to be at this moment in time. I like what I do. I love what I do. I'm casual. Sit here. My dog's sleeping on this part of the couch. Whoops. I just woke her up. Hey, Soph, how's it going? And I am a tad lazy. I really am. But I do work hard. I work hard every day, and I just don't work long hours like I should. Okay, let's see. My nephew buys cars and does that on the side. He's a mechanic, makes a killing. Nice, nice. Last part of stream looked lit as fuck. Yeah, that was a little crazy. Global Voodoo is really chill. Yeah, he's chill. Sometimes he rants, but he's still chill. I just got an offer netting $10 and kind of was greedy and sent for more than I realized. Ah, darn, that stinks. That's okay. Yeah, I hate when that happens. Um, Damn, bro, I live in Colorado. I rent 3-bedroom house for $580 a month. I have a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. You get a basement and a shed out back. $725. This was the cheapest place. Cheapest place besides like in the ghetto. I didn't want to live in the ghetto. I live in a decent area. Cheapest, nicest place I can find that allowed dogs. I don't know if you have a pet, but if you're trying to find a place that allows a 60 to 70 pound dog, you need to really figure out where you're going to be living. Do I ever sell sports jerseys? I do. I used to sell a lot when I could find them. I haven't found a lot lately. I was selling Tom Brady jerseys like crazy. I live in New England. Find a lot of Tom Brady jerseys. Mostly I find Jets jerseys, and those don't do very well. Mark McCheese Pants. Crap, I rent an 8x10 bedroom for $550 per month with shared bathroom in Westchester County, New York. Hey, I know where that is. You're close to me, Barky McCheese Pants. I'm in upstate Connecticut. Any online arbitrage in my arsenal? Yes, there is. Not going to give any of that away, but yes, I do online arbitrage on a few websites that I won't say. But yeah, I make some decent money at that. I actually haven't done online arbitrage in a while. I need to. Probably gonna place a couple orders in the next few days. TJ Town says, come hit that like button. This is the third time I'm saying it, and probably the last before I end this video, which I'm actually going to be ending very soon because I just looked at the time. Holy crap, guys, I'm sorry for going over the time limit. Please hit that like button. That'd be awesome. It honestly helps. I mean, it really helps me get more views, I notice. Whenever I only have a few likes, the video in the beginning, the video doesn't get that many views. It kind of stalls out. If it has a bunch of likes, once it uploads onto YouTube, all of a sudden the view count goes up over over 1,000 really fast, and that's the only reason why I ask, because I'd like to get that view count up. I like when more people watch and I get more subscribers because I want to hit 10K subs so bad, not like 7,200. Tried quitting drinking, but Mama didn't raise a quitter. That's why I'm drinking now and listing at last 3 items. Yeah, no, I'll definitely pour myself a drink. I'll list on eBay, take some pictures, then I'll play some Xbox. I'll play some Battlefield 1 tonight. I was playing Madden earlier, but I lost, and I don't like losing. Yeah, I watch Global Voodoo here and there. Pete Craig's Hunter talks about a lot too. He just helped create a new app. Yes, I do know about that app. I only have an Android also, so sadly I can't use it. I love both those guys. I watch them both a lot. Kafori321 says, do you plan on doing private label on Amazon? I do not. I do not. No, I don't. Not at the moment. Not at the moment, no. Kareem Williams says, hey, Thrift School, are you going to do wholesale buying? That is something I do plan on doing. I have to find a source. I have no idea how to find a source. I know there's those websites out there. They're not that good. There's a lot of people on those websites right now. You can't really get the good stuff. I have to find a local connection. If anybody has any help, any advice, any tips on how to find a local connection, I know, what is his name? Endless Entrepreneurs just got 300 or 3,000. I think 3,000. It seems like a lot, but maybe it was 3,000. Pair of LL Bean flannel line jeans. Awesome wholesale. And I know Nicole State just did a little wholesale buy. That's all clothing. I'd rather not buy clothing wholesale, but if I do, then that's okay. Michael Jordan says, because I need to make a lot of money, guys. I'm going on vacation come July. You guys are going to get a lot of cool videos. I haven't put this out publicly yet, but I am traveling to Arizona come July on a road trip. I am driving. I will be in Colorado for 2 days. I will be in Arizona for seven or 8 days. Then I will be in Texas for about 2 to 3 days. And then I'm making my way up. I'll be stopping in, I believe, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, and then coming up the East Coast, probably staying in North Carolina for about 2 days. And then I will be ending in New Jersey, where I finish out my trip and hang out there with my family because they'll be on vacation. And I will be there for a few days, and then I come back to Connecticut. So if anybody wants to hang out, I'll be thrifting that entire time. 49 watching, 48 likes is awesome. I like that. Not good enough though, because we had 40 something people in here, so I don't like that. Nah, it's okay. Thank you. I'm right about to end this. I'm actually just gonna end it right at an hour, guys. So we have 2 minutes to go. Here in Phoenix, I don't know if I'm gonna be anywhere near Phoenix. I'll be in near Houston when I'm down in Texas. So I don't know exactly how Texas works, but because I know it's huge. But from anywhere near Phoenix, sure, definitely, I'll definitely stop by. That'd be awesome. I've never been on a road trip, so this will be my first. I'll be driving by myself, sadly, but it's okay. Idea, you should make some live streams on the trip. I like that lightning bulb. And yes, I will do live streams on the trip, of course, probably from my phone, maybe from my laptop, who knows. I plan on staying at hotels for a little bit, but I'd like to save the money, so probably end up sleeping in my car, or I think I was actually going to bring a tent, probably go to campsites, and I'll pay for the campsite. I know you can camp for free, but I'll pay for the campsite. What is it, like 10 bucks a night, 15 bucks a night? I love camping. I love setting up a tent, starting a fire, sitting outside, having a few beers, and just hanging out, you know, just in nature. I absolutely love it. So I definitely plan on probably camping a lot of the nights. Maybe we could, depending on what state I'm in, if a few resellers want to meet up, roast some hot dog weenies, talk strategies and stuff like that, and camp. Oh, you're in Phoenix, Arizona. Duh. Yeah, see, I never really left New England. I've been to Canada, I've been to Florida, been like on a few islands like Bermuda and Dominican and stuff, but I've never left this part of the world, so I really don't know. Yeah, now I realize. Do I do auctions or buy it now? I do auctions. I mean, sorry, I do buy it now just because I just list it and forget it. I don't worry about auctions yet. I'm going to do auctions in the future. Have a good night. Good night, guys. Um, all right, so we are going to end it. Stream is over, guys. Ending it right at an hour. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment and like. Peace out.